Hello everyone, Joe Kiger here, and I have an apology to make. I told you guys I was back and I was going to be doing videos more consistently, and then in an ironic twist of fate, the camera on my phone stopped working. It was spazzing out horribly, so I haven't been able to film anything, but I just got a brand new phone, so hopefully this video works and I can upload this and I will get back into it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But today, we are talking about Fear Street Part 1, 1994. I heard about this movie and I was excited for a couple of reasons. First off, I heard that it was written by R.L. Stine, and this guy is just a classic when it comes to horror movies. Second, it just seemed like a small-scale horror movie that was fun. It looked like it was going to be a fun, nice little movie to watch during the summertime. And lastly, I was excited that it looked like a mystery, with each installment going further back in time to uncover the mystery even further. So that intrigued me as well. And I had a lot of excitement going into this film. And I can tell you that in seconds, that excitement was completely gone. It had totally evaporated. I was so disappointed with this movie, and it made me uncomfortable from the get-go. I don't know how anyone likes this, and I know that everyone has differing opinions of taste and preference, but guys, why does anyone like this film? I'm shocked, and I will tell you why. We start off being introduced to this lead character, and I just absolutely hated her from the get-go. In fact, I didn't really like any of the characters in this film. The lead character, the side characters, all of them together were not good. Their dialogue was horribly written, the acting felt unnatural and forced and over-the-top edgy, and I think a lot of this is due to bad writing. And another side effect of the bad writing is the story was not engaging at all. This is a horror movie where you're supposed to be gripped with the mystery. You're trying to figure out what's going on, and as the movie progresses, you find out more and more. But they managed to write the most not engaging story of all time, especially in the horror field. This is basically what happens. The gang is trying to figure something out. Something crazy happens. And they're like, well, what happened? And they go to this little brother character in the film, and he just explains it. That's kind of it. He just has like all the answers. But then there's other parts in the movie where it's like a little mystery will pop up and you're like, wonder what happened there? What's going on? But their first guess as to what is going on is normally correct. And so they're pretty much just doing things right the entire time. And yet, spoiler alert, people still die in this film. So I was like, well, what are the consequences here? We know what's going on. They're executing the plan correctly. But then there's two of the main characters die at the end. And you're like, why? And another side effect of bad writing is you don't care when these people die. The characters, like I said, are not fun. They're not likable. They're not charismatic. And they're not that fleshed out. So you have a bad story with bad characters, but then you have these consequences and things that happen towards the end. And you're like, well, okay, I don't really care. You don't really feel attached to anything. So with all this said, unfortunately, I can't think of hardly any redeeming aspects of this film. Besides one thing, and that was there were some shocking, gruesome moments. But ultimately, having a shock factor of like, oh my gosh, that was kind of crazy, doesn't do much for a story that's horribly written and not engaging at all. And the thing with movies like this is, if you're going to tell a horror story surrounding teenagers, which a lot of people are annoyed by teenagers to begin with, and rightfully so, what you have to do is you have to make the teenagers likable and charismatic so that people can get invested into the story and then actually feel for the characters when they go through all these shocking, scary moments. And I think the writers failed miserably at this task. The teenagers are just so bad. They're not relatable. They don't feel real. And I think this is probably because it was a bunch of adults trying to write down what they thought teenagers were like. And they're like, oh yeah, we said things like this. And they tried to be like over sexual, over edgy, too many cuss words. And it didn't feel natural. And I'm not just saying I'm against any of like inappropriate material. I'm fine with it as long as it feels natural. And in this film, it just didn't. All in all, I give this movie a 2 out of 10. It was just that bad. I watched it with a couple of my brothers and a friend of ours, and we just hated it. And we were like, is it going to get better? No, it doesn't. It doesn't get better. So it was terrible. And this year has been an abysmal year for movies, unfortunately. Kind of like how I felt about last year as well. And even though I had hope for Fear Street that it would maybe break the mold and be good, it turned out to be one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time. So I will not be watching part 2 or 3. That's gonna wrap up this video, folks. Please let me know what you think of Fear Street Part 1, 1994. From what I've seen, it has generally good reception, and I don't understand it at all. I thought it was horrible in almost every single fundamental way. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions on this film. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you would like to see this channel do next, and I will see you in the next video.